All right, welcome everyone to the Onward VR Master League. I'm your host Monorchid, and I'm joined today by my co-caster Etch.
Hey everyone.
Hey Etch, and James Boak on the analyst slot.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Going pretty good here. Normally we would talk about what's going on, but we got to jump right here in the action. It is getting started as we speak, starting on sand for map 1 here. We'll see how these two teams duke it out. Mike-Juliet versus Arrow 404. Already, the action has started. Icy taking out Mick11. A quick and dirty start there from the second story center building. A good start there. Going to put Mike-Juliet on the back foot for sure. Badger Zombie, though, getting Sniper and Mike Master Shake in a quick mix-up right there. STF Cup and Somnam going down to one another at the same time.
We're with the repair shop OBJ here, and we're down to a 4v1 already with Thrifty stuck in the northwest.
What are you thinking right now if you're Thrift? You're down just by yourself there. Good pickup from him, taking out Icy, but giving his position away. He's definitely going to have to worry about the rest of Arrow 404, who's still has 3 men up here against Mike-Juliet's 1.
Well, he knows he's going up against at least 4.
Ooh.
Round's over.
Let's watch that one back really quick there. It was a pretty interesting trade there. Thrifty couldn't quite thread the needle there. Cobra able to get a slick snapshot over onto Thrifty, giving Arrow 404 the first win, or the first point on the board.
Looked like everyone on Arrow 404 contributed there. 1 kill each, and it was over before we even really started. A couple of crosses at the start, which got a couple of crosses at the start, which got shut down from Mike-Juliet, and then it was just a little bit too much to ask from Icy.
While we have this quick moment here, let's just jump into the bans here, as we weren't able to do that quite before the match started here. What do we have for bans, Etch?
So from the Mike-Juliet side, they're banning Snow Peak, and Arrow 404 are going to be banning USS West.
Some interesting bans. You see 2 different kind of maps on display here for the bans. Do you have any thoughts on that, James?
It probably lines up with what I've heard from their teams. Mike-Juliet, their favorite map is Suburbia, so it's a short range map. They're banning Snow Peak, a long range map. And then you've got Arrow 404, who are not a fan of Tanker. So, you know, USS Tanker, maybe a little bit too much of a similarity there for them. Other than that, we'll have to see. They're both relatively new teams. We'll see what happens on sand.
Definitely a lot that could go down between these two teams. They are new, but they have some experience under their belt. But let's just jump right into round number 2 here. It's about to start up. See if Mike-Juliet can clap back on Arrow 404 here.
With how these spawns are set up, action is just going to start very quickly. And we're going to have 4 of Arrow 404 going down south, probably running into Thrifty and Master.
Some explosive action already, not Void going, getting a kill right off the beginning there. And a tough spot there, grenades coming in already. Badger Zom so close to Master Shake on the other side of the wall, and Thrifty and Cobra fighting with the main part of Arrow 404's push here with SD Cup, Icy, and Cobra. Cobra getting the pickup on Thrifty, and Sniper going down soon after the Icy.
They must have heard them because they knew exactly what to do. A flash and a hard push, and they took out those defenders. And we're in a 5v2 with Arrow 404 with the upper hand.
Nice pickup from Badger Zombie there, working together with Cobra there to get the kill there. Somnambulist, though, getting a quick pickup back on the Badger Zom, bringing this quickly down to a 1v5 or 1v4, and Arrow 404 quickly pick up another point.
Wow.
Ooh, a lot went on there. A lot went on. So Mike-Juliet tried to push out some players north and south to shut down those rotations around, but those push-out players got picked very early, and then it was up to Arrow 404 to surround the objective and just get the final picks. not much Mike-Juliet could do once those first couple of players went down. 5v2, very hard ask.
Some of these objectives are particularly brutal. A lot of combat going on right off the beginning there, and if you don't get into position right off the start, you can get boxed in very, very hard, as you kind of talked about. It's kind of interesting. They're doing really, really well on Mike-Juliet's map pick.
I feel like the rounds are getting decided in those first 10 seconds. It's whichever team gets those first 2 picks, and it just opens up the rotation or shuts down the rotation. We'll see if that holds for this objective.
The aggression for Arrow 404 to just move together and get those picks, like you're saying, is shaping up these rounds.
A little bit longer spawn on this, so let's see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this one shakes out. This objective is definitely more of the long game compared to the objectives we've been seeing just before.
I think we'll see a switch up with this defense, and they'll hunker down here and have a little bit less of an aggressive mentality. But as I say, that Icy is pushing into the northwest, maybe to tuck in a hijack spot, but this is a bit more defendable.
Somnambulist in a great position to pick any defenders that leg through this doorway here, but Arrow 404 though has some set positions already. They definitely practice on this map and kind of set up where they want to be and get into those spots before the defenders can get, or the attackers can get good picks on them. Ooh, McLovin barely making across the street there, getting past ST Cup, but he has a lot to deal with, and it's not Void and Cobra just on the other side of the wall here.
Somnambulist and Icy are about to get an engagement any second as Somnambulist crosses.
He's definitely going to hear Somnambulist's tablet come out there. If Icy just stays quiet and in his corner, he should be able to get that pickup there. Not Void picking up Sniper at the same time. And Somnambulist just about getting past Icy, but Icy able to get him and then quickly get the frag onto Thrifty on the behind him. So really good pickup from him.
And we're back into a 5v2. Badgers on a flank. One attacker left.
See how this one shakes out. Badgers on about to come through the backside right on McLovin, getting that pickup. Arrow 404 picking up yet another point, running away with this map so far.
That was a methodical defense. You can tell that Arrow 404 have practiced on this map. They had it set up. They knew the rotations they could make. The only danger which potentially could have happened there was if Somnambulist had gotten past Icy in the north. He could have gotten past a line of defense which Arrow 404 thought was established. Other than that, perfect defense. They set it up really well.
Definitely. So what's kind of the history behind these two teams here between Arrow 404 and man, their name really messes me up. Arrow 404 and Mike-Juliet.
So I can speak a little bit to Arrow 404. They are a team which has been in the map pool tournament. They played very well in that. They had a 3-1 record in the NA3 division. Mike-Juliet though, I think Etch, I think you have a bit more information on them, don't you?
Yeah, both of these teams are looking to shake things up in the rankings for Season 11, and Mike-Juliet got to show that a little bit in the All-Valley charity tournament a few weeks ago, where they started off by beating Dark Matter, very, very good team, and then took on STB, beating them 4-3, and then gave a really good fight to the beginners, the map after that. So this is going to be a close game despite what the scoreline and the first map has been so far.
These customs can be really swingy. A lot of these teams don't have a ton of practice on these custom maps. This one actually being a custom map from Kois, and it was actually quite different not too long ago as well. He totally remade the map. It plays completely different to how it used to play. So I'm not surprised to see some teams put a lot of time into practicing them, and some teams haven't put quite as much time, got their kind of set strategies and know what to expect from the other teams that they're facing on these custom maps. But with these maps in the VRML tournament list, or it's for this, you can talk on that, James. You kind of set it up.
The custom maps. It was, well, to be fair, it was voted on by the community. I'm really excited about it, to be honest. Excited to see some variety in the map pool, to see what comes out of it. Yes, some maps even frustrate me. I'm not a huge fan of some of them, but you know, that's how it is. You have maps you love, you have maps you hate, and that's part of the game. You've got to work through those maps. I still, you know, you could speak to that on Suburbia, couldn't you, Mono?
Suburbia.
Anyways, we're getting into the action, so I won't talk for too long now. We'll get back onto that at some point.
Pretty similar attack pattern from Arrow 404 here. You got one in that kind of upper building, 3-man push going through kind of the southern approach here, and pretty typical defense spot in Thrifty on the boxes here, and McLovin in support on the backside here. Already seeing somewhat of a meta appearing in these newer maps, and that's really interesting to see, and we'll have to see how that shakes out later on when different strategies get played out against one another.
Oh, McLovin heard STF and pushed that corner.
Thrifty getting Badgers on there. Cobra, though, very close proximity to Thrifty. He's going to have to make that choice. Is he going to push that, try and get the refrag for his buddy there? Oh, and he comes around the corner here. Nice trade between these two players, both down, but McLovin right nearby to get that repick if he wants to. Not Void. Picking up Master Shake, though, on the north side here, and now it's just up to Somnambulist to stop the main push left from Arrow 404. 2 members left compared to Mike-Juliet's 3.
This north doorway is such a choke point. They're gonna have to use some utility to push out of here, and I wonder if they're gonna rotate. It looks like Icy is going to try to push in from a different angle, maybe try to prevent a flank. We'll just get some alternate angles as they make this push.
Got some utility coming out from It's Not Void. Grenade coming out onto the position Somnambulist was on that truck there not too long ago, but not able to pick any of that up there. Somnambulist, though, going to have some idea that a push is coming through. McLovin able to get the shot on the back of him, though. Working together there. Some good teamwork between these players on Mike-Juliet.
This defense is a count, and they know they just have to sit and wait at this point. And they have really good lines. Icy has a long road ahead and try to get anywhere in that east port, really.
It's going to be tough to get the rise on Thrifty here. He's got a nice tight angle here. Waiting for Thrifty to just come into view, but Icy does look like he's going to try and just sneak right on past him, go through more of the northern approach, or the eastern approach there, and just skip Thrifty altogether.
Yep, Thrifty happened to drop that angle at just the right moment as well. Onward timing for you. But he's got to get through Somnambulist still to get anywhere. But
and come into contact there soon. Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah. Maybe a flash over.
Smoke comes out there. Shots as well. Giving Thrifty the opportunity to come around the backside here, get a little bit aggressive on the defense, picking... Doesn't matter. It was after the round ended.
McLovin and Thrifty were the key in that defense, especially McLovin. That pick he got in the southeast. If that pick had not occurred, there was a series of events which cascaded from there. If that pick had not occurred, the round would have gone the other way, in my opinion. He got that pick. He then rotated it up. He was able to support. Who was he supporting? Thrifty in the south. He revived Thrifty. He finished off Thrifty's down trade, and then he rotated back up and got a pick up in the north as well. And then Thrifty, having been revived by McLovin, was able to get that last kill. So yeah, that's how that all played out, based upon what was a kill at the start, which could have gone the other way.
Yeah, these little decisions and angles and the way you set up your team can make such huge differences in a game like Onward. I mean, you got 5 players all playing together. They all have to come up with a strategy. And it's not just, the game right now. They're not just figuring this stuff out now. Most teams are going to spend time in these maps. They're going to free roam them. They're going to figure out where they want players to be, what angles they're going to watch. And most importantly is that kind of teamwork element where one player is going to cover the backside of another. So there's a lot more going on under the skin of Onward that you don't really notice until you kind of watch it for a while or played it yourself. So that's what makes Onward especially interesting to watch and see how these teams tick and play together. But let's jump into round 5 here. See how Arrow 404 defends the center objective here. All they need is one more point, and if they do take that, they will take map 1 here. The center objective as well can be pretty difficult to attack considering that the center building is a very, very good defensive spot. But once the attackers get a nice surrounding line on it, they're able to pick the defense apart. So we'll have to see how Mike-Juliet is able to tackle this objective compared to the Arrow 404 defense here. And as we've seen in the past, Arrow 404's defense have been quite strong there. They definitely kind of kept themselves from peeking too much and able to cover their angles quite effectively. So this should be a good round.
This is going to be a pivotal round for Mike-Juliet. A tough OBJ, in my opinion, to attack. But if they can surround and pick off Cobra and maybe Icy, and then put a pinch from 3-4 sides onto that center building, it could be good. Get some good utility usage. But this is gonna, we're gonna need to see some really good teamwork and attacking from this.
Ooh, nice flash from Somnambulist right onto Cobra there. Another one coming out right there. Cobra looking like getting picked up by Somnam and Thrifty at the same time there. Good teamwork. Able to get that first kill on the Arrow 404, putting a dent in the defense. They're going to have to really bucket up and do their best to defend it. But McLovin is already up and near the objective here, trying to go for a cap. It's not Void. Not going to let that one happen. Master Shake picking up Badger Zomb, and they are in the objective room. They are running for the objectives. It's not Void is doing his best to hold them back. Just being MVP right now, picking up yet another kill.
And it's tied up 2-2. This was starting to look like such a good attack, but he got a little anxious to get in there without the utility usage. But nevertheless, they're still in a good position with Master going up top and Thrifty going to the repair shop. They have the high ground. The defenders get antsy at this point. They can pick him off easy, but let's see what they do.
Ooh, nice shot from Icy, picking up Master Shake. And that was a pivotal spot. They needed Master Shake on the top there. Causing distraction for Thrifty here as he's coming in here, just barely missing Icy, getting that trade, giving Arrow 404 the point, and they will pick up map number 1.
Ooh, that was Mike-Juliet's round, in my opinion. I feel like I think Etch put it really well. They just rushed it when they didn't need to. They had the early picks. They had the ability to take their time, surround the objective, get 1 or 2 more picks, and then do a bit more aligned on their attack in. They just went in one at a time, and the defenders, they had the hidden spots. They got the jump on them.
Yeah, as you guys all saw, map number 2. What a doozy, going from such a CQB brawling type map that Sand is to Downfall. Completely different styles here. You guys have to have some thoughts on this.
The only commonality is that there's sand in both maps.
Awesome. That is what we needed to know.
That is some brilliant analysis. This should, looking at their favorite maps and stuff, this should favor Arrow 404, and this is Arrow 404's pick, is it not? It is. Yeah, be interesting to see. In terms of whether they have specialist snipers, it's not Void, is the Arrow 404 sniper. So looking forward to seeing some long shots from him. On the Mike-Juliet side, I don't know who their specialist sniper is yet. Let's find out.
Yeah, this is interesting. I do like to see these teams that are able to switch gears, so to say, going from like I was talking about, that CQB focus map. You see the enemy in the first 5 seconds, and you're in their face, maybe even going for a cap in the first 15 or 20 seconds, depending on how aggressive you're going to push in. Compared to Downfall, which we're going to see a lot more careful play. We're going to see the sniper duels. We're going to see rotations and people just moving in and working together in a completely different style. So this should be a good switch up. Should be really interesting to see. And it's always fun to see how teams handle this map, as this one is, in my opinion, one of the hardest maps to really get a good grasp on it and play well with your team compared to some of the others.
This objective is very capable if you don't have it locked down as a defender. There are some lines you can take onto it, which have been scarred in my memory from various encounters, including yesterday or the day before. And so we might see a cap. It'll be interesting to see.
All the players here getting started here. We got a strong push going towards the south. 2 players in Icy and Knots Void going towards more of the northern push here, getting the upper red truck. Just trying to get into these supporting positions, maybe get a quick pick. But, ooh, McLovin, though, in the center bungalow. He is in a great position to catch any rotations later in the round from Icy and Not Void. This is going to be a tough one for them to deal with, and I don't know if they're even aware that he's made that push. Meanwhile, we got Badger, ST, and Cobra pushing down the kind of south path here, maybe going towards White House, maybe just trying to push into the lower dumpsters. We're definitely going to have to see how this plays out, but Mike-Juliet's defense looks pretty convincing here. That said, Icy actually did make it past McLovin. More of that onward timing, I suppose, but good work from him, as McLovin is going to be terrible and terrible to deal with.
Yeah, the 2 in the north are still kind of waiting for their compatriots in the south to set up. You can see Void and Icy checking their tablets methodically, just holding their angles, waiting for the south to get in position. Really good teamwork to not rush this, because Icy already has lower red truck, and upper red truck is also theirs. They're not that far away. Their south approach.
Badger just barely missing getting his head taken off from the likes of Sniper here, just going right over his head. I'm pretty sure he saw him, but not quite able to get him before he peeked down the hill there. He's definitely in danger if he continues to peek the same spot from Sniper. We're going to see if he's able to make this shot here, as the laser just keeps going right over his head.
If Sniper with the SKS and 12X and a bipod, actually, no foregrip, he knows the angle he's holding here.
McLovin picking up Cobra. Looks like he saw ST make the cross to the upper dumpster, tries to make it as well, and gets taken out. Pretty much probably due to the call out from Sniper, keying in McLovin to this push there. That said, without him watching the north, they're going to be able to push unimpeded there. And as I say that, Sniper actually catches Badger, make that movement, but not before Badger able to re-peek that, getting the pick on the Sniper. Somnambulist also going down to Icy as they pushed in the north here, the northwest, and are in a great position to really pincer in this defense.
I'd have to say McLovin's position in the center bungalow, he gets taken out. They all got past him and got the northwest, and that is the weak point of this defense, in my opinion, is McLovin and Thrifty are getting pinched from south and north.
Thrifty picking up Not Void. Ooh, so Icy so close to seeing Thrifty here. See him kind of go across every now and again, exposing himself, but Icy not in a position to see that cross there, as he now makes his push onto... Ooh, he gets picked by Thrifty, though. Nice little peek from him, knowing kind of where his position was from the fire from earlier.
And the north is now not weak anymore. They've eliminated both attackers from there. It's going to be focused on the south, and one more down, one left.
What a swinging game there.
Wow.
What's going on? It appears they're aware of the last enemy player as well. Oh, Thrifty and ST getting a trade there. Mike-Juliet picking up round number 1.
I feel both teams have some pretty simple adjustments they can make, which could have made that round more effective on either side. That on attack in the first 10 seconds, letting someone get to North Bungalow is generally a no-no, and you can lock it down if you position yourself correctly. To be honest, as soon as McLovin got North Bungalow, I thought that was the round over. That position is so hard to deal with, but Mike-Juliet almost gave it back to them. They got 2 peaky on their positions. They lost 3 players from peaking windows. They lost North Bungalow, the brothel, and Centre Hotel from locations they probably shouldn't have. They almost let players get around to the northwest, but then they managed to pull it back, took out the northwest, and then locked down the southwest. Yeah, pulling it back from there, but it could easily have gone the other way.
I'm surprised that Bungalow position went A, undetected, but B, didn't play much of an effect at detecting any of these pushes at all. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but I agree. I felt that was such a key pivotal position that would just throw a wrench in the attack's plans.
I think it was he got into that position. He was watching a good angle there, but he was too, he wanted to watch the angles that they got callouts from, because I'm pretty sure that Sniper saw that push in the south, called it out to his team, and then he immediately switched to watching the south from that center bungalow instead of watching the north, which is where those pivotal pushes came from Arrow 404, and allowed them to get so many picks and bring this to such a close round 1.
Downfall, it's all about working as a team. If you're watching a line, watch that line. It makes your team feel safe. It makes your team actually safe if you're watching that line, and then they can look in a different direction. Let's see if we see any pushed out defensive spots from Arrow 404.
Jump into round 2 here. See how they play this one out. What positions Arrow 404 will take. A lot of good areas that you can defend from. See what they choose to do. It looks like they're going to have one try to cross towards the center here. Sniper since 93 in a good position to maybe catch Icy as he runs up to that center bungalow. Does not catch him though, and is able to get in there. We'll see how much damage Icy can do in this position. 4-man push as well going through the north here. All of them crossing to the upper red truck, and we'll have to see if they continue pushing or if they will stop there and try and get some picks before they push up. It's kind of a crazy push though, don't you think, Etch?
Yeah, they have something planned. I think part of that is going to be having Sniper ID these north positions.
Yeah, this is definitely must be planned. You got some with the M249, I think. What do you got? Yeah, M249, get that suppressive fire, allow his team to push up, and just try and blitz one side and knock them down that way. But Icy is in such a good position, and if he just watches this angle, will be able to stop the entire 4-man push. Somnambulist almost making it across there. Icy just grabbing him before he got in cover behind the red truck. It will give them information though on Icy's position and the danger they're in.
Yeah, and we're seeing how powerful letting someone into that bungalow is. As Master tried, but just couldn't get that tight shot into the window. It's very, very tough to unseat that spot.
Shots ringing out. No kills as of yet, but Mike-Juliet down 2 and kind of stuck here. We're going to have to see if they continue this push or try to come from a different angle there, because they're going to have to deal with the likes of Icy in the center bungalow, and he's just in a really, really, really aggressive spot that's going to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, I think at this point, they could use some utility to go unseat that center bungalow or try to rotate south maybe to avoid it, but they can't continue this push without getting rid of that center bungalow. Thrifty's looking there. He's trying. It's tough.
I like to see Arrow 404 Icy picking up Thrifty McLovin, now the sole member of this 4-man original push up the north. Gonna be tough. Gonna be tough to continue this push. He's not quite sure where he can go here without getting picked off by Icy, who's just been picking them off one by one. You can see he's just resorting to kind of blind firing the windows, trying to get a lucky shot on the Icy. But even if you get him, it's tough because you're going to get taken out, or you're not going to know if they're down from your shots. That said, Cobra able to pick him up there, all those shots cluing him into his exact position. And suddenly it's just down to the sole remaining member of Mike-Juliet in Sniper since '93.
Yep, I mean, you could see the map and just see that upper red truck was about as far as the offense could get, and 3 of them died trying to refrag Icy, and unsuccessfully. It just shows the power of that spot. Sniper spotted him.
Yeah, you can see here he's just gonna have to make this work. He's gonna have to get these picks under fire, as he doesn't really have anywhere to go, and he doesn't have time for a long reposition here. Oh, is he going to grab? It's not tough. Void here. He is so close. His laser's right on top of his head. First shot rings out, a miss, and Void will tuck into cover here. Sniper going to take White House, get in a position to maybe contest Icy, but Icy's got his eye on the same window. Sniper's about to peek. Oh, he doesn't see him though. Will he get the shot? And he does not. Icy just barely getting away from Sniper.
With a minute 22, this defense just needs to put shots towards Sniper and just don't let him escape. He's trapped himself there. As long as they have the lasers, you can see, who is this? Badger with the laser on the door. They're all keyed in on this. They're just not going to let him escape out of here.
Very true, very true. Badger in a great place to catch him. Oh, just barely getting him as he gets down the hill there. Narrow headshot, giving Arrow 404 a point here, bringing this to a 1-1. This looks very familiar to a lot of downfall rounds I've seen in the past.
There you see a much better execution of the North Bungalow. But it wasn't, they could have shut it down, which is the part. You could see the intent of the attack. The 4-man North with the one in the South who can pick up the people as they try to cross back as you weaken the North. It could have worked really well. All they needed to do is just leave one lagging slightly behind and just lock down that North Bungalow. Take that guy out as he tries to get in there. Just hold it for 30 seconds, then regroup with your team. They weren't continuing to push at speed. They did have time to regroup. That would have changed the whole attack. So yeah, again, just great intent, great planning, small adjustments, and I think that could turn into a good execution. On the defense side, they had it pretty well locked down. They weren't peeking too much. They were holding their lines. You didn't see them all flicking their lasers to all look in one direction when you hear shots. They were still watching their direction, which they've been designated. You know, some good fundamentals there on the defense.
And fundamentals you do need on this map. This is a map of fundamental testing. Like you said, everyone needs to watch their angles. Everyone needs to know their areas of interest that they need to be aware of and be watching. And also, just don't peek. Don't peek in those windows. They're so powerful. You just sit far back inside the windows as deep as you can, just watching your very narrow slice, forcing them to come out in the open to challenge you. And we saw how powerful that was because Sniper was very close to catching, I think it was not, it's not Void.
It's not Void, yeah.
But he wouldn't peek. He wouldn't peek enough to give him that shot. And instead, he was forced to sit there hoping that he could get that shot onto him pretty much the whole round until his entire team was taken out. And even if he repositioned, I don't know if he could have gotten into a position where he could have supported his team without the northern push getting a few picks of their own and forcing those rotations like you talked about previously.
Jump into the next round with now a lower dumpster objective. no quick spawn. Let's see how the change in terrain and map direction shapes the defense.
Got some high fives being handed out on Arrow 404's start. Very happy to get into this round and shoot some Volk. Ooh, Somnambulist picking up White House. Gonna be pivotal here. Should be able to get a pick on the Badger before he even knows what's going on. We'll have to see if Badger will be aware of this push. Sees the grenade coming out from Somnambulist, and his position will be exposed there. Cobra downing Sniper since 93 here. No idea where he is. Where
Center
are you?
Hotel.
Center Hotel. Getting a little peeky.
Now that Sniper is down, their front side protection of OBJ is pretty weak, and there's two Marsoc attackers swinging northwest. If they play
Ooh.
this right, those attackers can sneak in.
We'll have to check that out in a minute there. Badger just barely making it across the little valley here. McLovin just not able to fully get him down, but did get a wound onto him, forcing Badger to slow down and get a heal on himself. But Somnambulist getting very aggressive. He is on the outside of White House here, not quite able to pick up Badger there. More utility coming from him. Flash going out. I think he got Badger, who just crouched and hoped for the best there. Cobra and ST too far to support his friendly there, as he was too far forward, and Somnambulist able to get him from behind the hill there.
All the defenders are watching south.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Icy and Void are just sneaking on in. Oh man, this can go many ways.
Oh boy, I'd be getting some choice words from James right now. That said, it's there. The main push is coming from the south there, but hopefully we will see some kind of rotation. And you can already see that Thrifty looking through the backside here, looking at West Road, should be able to maybe catch Icy if he exposes himself too much.
If Icy crawls here, he can get onto objective with no detection.
Yep. Losing at center hotel position was so pivotal because, yeah, they do not have eyesight on 30-40% of the front side of OBJ now. They are not in a position to rotate as well. This is quite dicey.
All up to McLovin and Master Shaker to maybe catch Icy, but he's kind of made it past the biggest danger zones. You can already see he's looking at his tablet. He is thinking about a cap right now. Thrifty might be able to catch him. Cobra picking up McLovin. Icy taking out Master Shake, letting Thrifty know that the push is on. See some rotation from him. He's coming down to objective. Smoke is on objective. Icy going into the room next to objective here, trying to get the cap off. Tablet is out. Thrifty needs to come out and check the objective right now, but he does not. Icy getting the cap, getting 2 more points for Arrow 404 on downfall.
Perfect execution. Perfect execution. Took his time, got the critical pick, and then went for it. No delay, straight for it. The defenders did not react quick enough. Perfect execution. Smokes on objective just to confuse even further, and then went through. Oh, love seeing it. Beautiful. Defenders just got way too distracted by the south. They didn't need to have 4 people looking south. They could have had that north locked down.
Definitely a lot of eyes being pulled towards the action. It's really easy. You wanna shoot the enemy, and you all are worried about different pushes coming in, and that you need to cover it. And so that's just kind of a bit of communication on who's watching where and doing what. We did see a bit of rotation from Mike-Juliet. Thrifty did try to switch around, watch the back, masturbate as well. But Icy, just a beautiful push from him, looking at all the right places at the right time, able to get those picks. It even looked like Thrifty was trying to react to that push attempt onto the objective, but once he got out of the building, he kind of just spun around in place, which to me kind of looked like maybe he was having some technical issues there. But sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles.
Well, I think part of the problem was when do you detect that your front side's been weakened, and it really was when they lost Center Hotel and Center Hotel was down. Even with those other 4 up, that cap could have just as well happened because the 2 in the north went undetected.
That's where I would prefer to see their shot caller somewhere who can register that weakness. So you had Somnambulist was up in White House. I believe he calls a lot of the shots. I'd have him somewhere closer to objective, so you realize, oh, we're weak from this other direction, and get the rotations, get your cover back. Mono will know all about that.
Somnambulist here on the North Ill trying to get maybe some early picks, get those rotation picks out of the way, but none spotted there. They will be able to continue their push there, get a good spread across the center of the map here. One player, Sniper, being very aggressive here, going towards the kind of lower bungalow, whatever your team calls it, and he makes it. Nice pickup
Icy was
from
tracking
Icy.
him the whole way there.
Icy is going to be a pain in the center hotel. He can just pop on the top. He can pop to the second story. He can pop to the first story and just take shots and slow down Mike-Juliet's push here. Although it kind of looks like their entire team is trying to murder him right now.
Sounds like a theme from last Marsak attack.
He definitely likes getting these very kind of exposed but powerful positions. Able to pick up a kill there.
Oh, meanwhile,
Thrifty
Badger's
picking up Icy though.
pushing. Badger's in Center Hotel, North Center Hotel, in a hijack spot to take out these LMG players.
In the bungalow there, taking out Somnambulist. McLovin, though, trying to save his team, not able to do it quite in time. Badger trying to duck down, get his reload off, and McLovin, though, pops up to the window, gets that refrag off, but not before the kills went out, and now it's just him to 3 of Arrow 404, and this is a tough position to come back from, as 3 defenders is going to be a tall order to take out. We might have to see more of a sneaky play going for maybe like a cap. But if you're McLovin here, you're probably thinking, what do I do now?
Very similar to last round, though. That northwest, they don't have it covered fully.
McLovin going for more of a center push right down the center here. Nothing to lose here. He's got to make this work, or Arrow 404 will run away with a point. And that they do. They take Downfall, giving them the series win here, and we will be going into map 3 for the MMR decider, whatever you want to call it, the MMR gain or loss, or how much that is compared to these two teams.
And a little bit of pride. You want to try and gain something back as well, ideally. I see 19 MVP of that map. One capture of the objective and 7 kills. Definitely MVP. Over in 4 rounds. That's a kill. That's a good score. Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of work to be done on Mike-Juliet's side on Downfall, but not massive amounts, just small adjustments, and they're a big difference. They almost had a few of those rounds. Just some critical little mistakes. That last round, McLovin, I liked him to just take his time a bit more. He still had 3.5 minutes left. When you're the last man up, don't give up ever. Take your time, rotate. There were some weaknesses there. Obviously, we can see them in cast division.
Definitely, having this kind of view from the sky gives us all that information we need. And Downfall, man, when your entire team gets schwacked right off the beginning and there's just a flurry of gunfire, you have no idea what's really going on. You just can make some good guesses at where their positions are and try to work off that, but really at that point, also the kill count, I imagine, was pretty poor considering the chaos of that last round. Uh, you probably don't know what there's 2 up or 4 up or even 5. You know, you just gotta have to make do. And I think he made a good play there, trying to just get to the objective, go straight down the middle, something that you wouldn't expect, and get that cap to bring it all back for his team, bringing it to a 3-3. Good attempt, just barely getting caught by White House.
I feel like if he'd worked based upon the information of where they gotten picks, so they'd pick Center Hotel, they'd pick North Bungalow, you'd expect that's their north defense a bit more weakened. So I would have preferred a northwest rotation and then down West Street. Personally, that's where you have to adapt to where the picks have occurred. On downfall, you don't tend to see too many rotations through the open because they're so risky. So you really do need to always keep track of where you've heard shots come from, where you've weakened the defense, and work with that. A lot of thinking on downfall, always.
I think there's a mental piece to it as well, in terms of assessing your team, assessing your weaknesses, and just having the morale to wait those 3 minutes, push, and still have a semblance of an attack. But I mean, if we're switching over to Mike-Juliet's favorite map, so let's see if they can regain some of that confidence and momentum in a different style map, kind of an in-between between sand and downfall.
The staple of Onward for as long as I've played, and that's for sure. But
Middle Mansion as well. You see some very differing attacks and defenses on this. Be interesting to see, definitely.
yeah, this is one of the spicier objectives for this map. I have to agree. Looks like we're gonna be getting some aggressive pushes from Mike-Juliet. They're already pushing down the center there. Sniper, Somnambulist already in. Thrifty getting a team kill there. Sniper is on objective. His tablet is out. He got one defender and he's already capping. Will he be able to get this one? And he does. An immediate cap right off the start.
Nicely done. That's how you bring it back.
Mental's right there we were talking about.
So watch this quick push straight down the center there. So aggressive there. Got a little team kill, but sometimes that happens. All worked out in the end as all the defenders were immediately blitzed out. Sniper getting that cap and giving Mike-Juliet a cool 2 points on map number 3.
Hero 404 not ready for that.
No, definitely not.
They will be next time.
Yep, they'll be thinking about that one.
Yeah, Mike-Juliet are not going home without a fight here, so they're here on their favorite map, ready to rumble. Let's see what they do in defense now.
When you see a team do such an aggressive push, they tend to be pretty good against that push themselves. So I think Arrow 404 is going to have to play this one a little differently if they're going to succeed. And we can already see 4 players in the center house there. Immediately, Icy, It's Void are taken out, and Icy is confirmed. They were ready for that push themselves. Prediction came true. McLovin getting
stacking almost everyone besides McLovin now in the middle house.
McLovin, though, really getting out there, though, knowing that they have the upper hand there, trying to get some action in the back line, so to speak, as he comes around the back going towards lane 4. Should be able to get a nice pickup on a ST and Badger. ST himself picking up Sniper, getting looking through that window there. Cobra picking up Thrifty as well, but McLovin getting that pickup on the backside there. Cobra but getting that refrag there onto him, but the damage is done. Called out playground. Cobra is has been called out by the likes of Mike-Juliet. Have to see how he chooses to push this one as they are tucked in tight on the objective. C4 going off, getting the pick on the Cobra. Brutal.
Beautiful play.
Feel like Era 404 should have taken their time a bit more on that. They had the aggression, and as Mono said, like when a team plays that aggressively, they probably have the middle mansion locked down themselves. So I would have liked to see the opposite attack from Aero 404. Hold your lines, take your time, get around the objective. That would have locked down. They wouldn't have lost their 2 dudes early. They would have killed McLovin as he tried to flank around behind them. That could have changed the whole dynamic of the round. Then they could have taken their time to, you know, put utility into the objective, frag in there, all that sort of stuff, and clear out that middle house.
We
They played into Mike-Juliet's hands a little bit there.
Yeah, from players like yourself, James, who are really good with utility, it's usually really effective on this objective, or on the old objective in the center house, I should say, using those grenades, getting it through the window, getting them nice and cooked, and there's not very many places to hide in there, but these teams played in a completely different style. They were very aggressive, trying to get that early win, and use that aggression to just bludgeon the enemy team. But both teams quite aware of what you can do there. Aero 404, though, just coming out behind on that one.
Now we jump to an objective that is way more open, and I think this is even more capable than many of the other OBJs.
One on lane 4.
This defense is set up interestingly. They do not have frontside protection of the OBJ and are depending on people on the back lines covering it, aside from IC.
It's not Void picking up McLovin in lane 4. Icy getting a quick kill onto Master Shaker, and then Sniper. Somnambulist trying to get this refrag onto anyone or anybody in this lane, and there he goes. He gets up. It's not Void, but he's got a lot to deal with, as the majority of this defense is all very, very much concerned in this northern approach. If we get a good push from Thrifty, ooh, some flashes coming out on Thrifty, but he gets the push off, able to get that pickup, and this is pivotal. He's in a great position to push the objective.
Yep, a couple of smokes, and there's nobody with visibility onto OBJ right now.
A little too early on my replay. My bad.
And they're picking up the smokes. They're gonna toss them. I think they're preparing for just that.
See how this one plays out. Some good utility usage from Somnambulist. Pushing across towards objective. Makes the low wall there. Badger very, very tight on objective. Focusing on Cobra to cover the front part of the objective. They do get the pickup, but this gives Thrifty some information on where Cobra and Zombie both are. ST Cup,
He's doing
though,
the right
also
move.
in a getting a
Rotating
rotation.
around. Yeah, if he gets to lane 3, lane 4, and tries to get behind him, he can have some nice angles towards...
He's got time. 4 minutes as well. Ooh, that they see him.
Another rotation. Weird this time.
This is what we want to see, though. We want to see those rotations. Use the time to your advantage. Keep them guessing. You just need to be the Reaper in the night that just keeps getting these pickups, continuing to weaken their defense so you can push objective or just win on kills. Might be able to get this pickup onto Cobra if he can see Cobra's little head peeking over the rear side of this car. Dangerous position to be. SD Cup, if he just kind of looked, he could have caught him there. But Thrifty will be able to make it over this side right now. Let's see what Cobra decides to do here.
This is kind of crazy. He's just walking through effectively where all 3 of them can see.
Yeah, I'm just holding my breath here, waiting to see who's going to see one another first.
Problem is Thrifty can't shoot
STF.
right now.
I think STF is going to peek any second. Maybe. Oh, he still doesn't look this way.
If he shoots, they're all going to turn around and shoot him.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's just going to walk down the center. No care in the
He's
world.
going to see Badger. He's going to see Badger any second, I think. just
If he
looks to
shoots
his
him,
left,
he's dead.
he's gonna
If
see
you
him.
shoot him, you're dead. Oh no!
Ah.
There it is.
Oh boy!
Oh, boy.
Let's watch that one back there.
Brilliant.
He didn't hear you, Mono. He didn't hear you.
You didn't hear me. Oh man, look at this layout though. ST, the immediate pickup, getting them a point on the board, but crazy round there.
Yeah, I feel like those frags could have been used a bit better. A couple of them landed in the middle of North Street. I don't like to see a wasted frag.
James really doesn't like it.
Like they could have been my frags. I could have had those frags.
They had a
Start to
frag
twitch.
conservation society, making sure they get properly utilized.
My precious.
Never was a frag.
What did he just throw there?
It was C4. I
C4.
believe.
C4 made it right in a good position. Pretty good position, depending on how they push. Icy getting Master Shake right off the start there from center house. Master in a good position to give some callouts, though, as he's not really in a position to get finished off there. Cobra getting into combat with McLovin, who's getting very aggressive on lane 4. He now goes completely down. Somnambulist taking some shot, or getting shot at by It's Void. Badger's on picking up Master Shake. It is Madhouse here.
This is going to be an aggressive push. We see the smokes already blocking visibility. Sniper has to rotate quickly to get eyes on OBJ. And the attack isn't pushing hard enough. They might let the defense adjust in time.
In fact, the defense is pushing onto the offense right now. Sniper not checking his corner. Badger able to get that pickup onto Sniper. Somnambulist, though, in a great position to get a refrag. But Badger Zombie gets the shot, and they get it.
Nice
they now bring it to a 3v2.
That was a perfect example of adjustment from their previous attack. They took their time more, they held their lines, they realized that Mike-Juliet was going to try and rotate around on them, and they just picked them. They got McLovin, they got, who did they get start? Master Shake, and then, yeah, they just slowly worked their way in, getting picks.
They're keying in on an antsy defense that is moving around more than it needs to.
It took them by surprise that first time, but now they're ready to it. That's good to see that adjustment. That's where I would have liked to see Mike-Juliet maybe just lock it down a bit more, especially for that objective. I feel like it's a bit more of a lockdown type defense, works better. This objective, however, we could see another really aggressive push.
I'm expecting it. Anyone want to take bets? Bets? No? No bets?
Yep, I'm saying, I saw this spawn, maybe not. Less likely.
You changed your mind after
I changed my mind.
It'll
You
still be
can
aggressive.
cheat like
I
that.
think, no, it'll still be aggressive at some point. There'll be smokes and they'll go for it, I reckon.
As long as they're aggressive at any point within the round, I win. That's what I'm going with. No pre-fire from either of these teams as well. Pretty interesting as well. Badger Zombie. Ooh, some M2 to 3 smokes being used. We'll have to see how that one plays out here. Badger Zombie in a great position to get some refrags onto anybody. ST Cup picking up McLovin. Cobra taking out Somnambulist. Good little kind of angle defense, waiting for them to come forward and just getting a pick. Icy picking up Thrifty. Sniper trying to get this shot on the SD Cup, who's prone behind this concrete barrier. Sniper getting the pickup there. Master also downing It's Not Void.
They need to be ready for this. Could be cap.
Cobra not looking the right direction. Comes around, though. Nice snapshot on the Master Shake. Defending the objective, but now it's in a precarious spot here. Badger needs to come forward, but he's probably aware of Sniper's position here, just waiting for him to cross his vision, able to get that pick up, and bringing this to a 3-on-3 points wise.
That could easily have gone the other way. If that had been a clean kill on objective, that would have been a cap. Having It's Not Void up in the spawn house was able to call out their last player, but that could easily have been a cap on objective there.
Definitely, that was a brutal beginning there. We saw such a powerful defense from Arrow 404, but Mike-Juliet would not be stopped and brought this to a 1v1. All those down players, like you were saying, with all those call-outs, though, very, very powerful. In some circumstances, a down player can be more valuable than a live player. because they're able to give out callouts in such a way that the attackers can't really deal with it. Their body behind cover or something. So it's really, really important to try to get those confirms. If you can't shoot them, grenades can be a great opportunity, to hit them around a corner or what have you. Get that body, just make sure they're down.
Yeah, and I think Mike-Juliet could have benefited from a quick spawn there. I think they might have been preparing for that with the M203 and the free fire and all of that, but Era 404 are going to get the same exact spawn for the same burning OBJ.
Looks like we got a nice split here. Got 2 or 3 going down more of the western approach, and 2 going towards lane 4. This is pretty brutal here. ST getting sniper as he pushed forward down lane 1. ST then picking up McLovin here in the center. But meanwhile, in lane 4, Icy is continuing to push here. Cobra picking up Master Sheikah. And he's in a good position.
No one has eyesight of OBJ. No one has eyesight of OBJ.
There's a bunch of smoke all over it too.
Oh no.
Thrifty, you heard the smoke. Icy just running down lane 4, no care in the world here. More smoke coming in support of his team. Thrifty responding to the threat. Icy going down to Thrifty in a trade there. Very critical, but Cobra is still in a position to continue this push.
Rez comes out safely, and they're back in OBJ covering it.
Oh, the window has been closed. That said,
Can they
it's
hold
not
it down?
They could get a nice flanking position there, able to just shoot the defenders. Cobra picking out Thrifty. What do you think now if you're Somnambulist?
We've got to get sight of both cap spots here, but
if you do, you're dead.
It's moving a lot.
That said,
that's
if
my
he
word.
dies, they lose. So doing something a little bit more risky. Oh, not quite able to get the shot onto Cobra. And Cobra trying to trade fire. They should be aware of his position. SD Cup getting the pickup, and Arrow 404 will take map 3.
Great comeback. Great comeback. I think Mike-Juliet just tried to play their form of that game is to play a very aggressive defense, and Arrow 404 adjusted. They were down 3-0, but they adjusted that aggressive defense, and it paid off for them.
And I think we've seen 2 types of aggression today. Era 404 has been taking aggressive hijack angles, while Mike-Juliet has been taking aggressive, almost offensive maneuvers on defense. And I think Era 404 adjusted on offense more than Mike-Juliet adjusted on defense. One factor that contributed.
It's that they pushed out. They did really well in that initial push out. I feel like they should have just locked down some lines then. As they tried to do that secondary push when Era 404 were already established in position. And so that meant that Mike-Juliet were moving through an open zone, moving through a zone of no cover, and Era 404 was just picking them off one by one.
Definitely played really well between these two teams. We saw some really beautiful team play. We saw some really powerful, aggressive offenses from both of these teams. A particular one that comes to mind was that center push actually on the highlight reel right now. Super beautifully done there. Everyone kind of knew their part. They pushed in, they got the cap. Such a wonderful start to a subway round. I'm thinking about my favorite map, Suburbia round.
Mono doesn't really know this map. He tries to forget about it.
It's true. But sometimes it can be interesting, and that center house, the right team at the right time playing that one can just be super fun to watch. And when you see that, it's like magic, and that's definitely what we got today. Do you guys have any other thoughts?
I'm expecting some big things from both these teams this season. The play we saw here today was not beginner level play. Well, beginner team level play. Confusing having beginners at the top of the table when I make that statement. it was definitely a level of play which you'd expect to see more in the sort of silver gold type level. So I expect to see them up there. Look forward
But
to
yeah,
it.
they have to just play a couple of their rounds to get placed on the leaderboards, 3 rounds. Then they're going to just be continuing to play other teams, rise through the ladders there, and show what they got and what they can bring to the VRML. Show these new strategies and tactics. And that's something that we like to see a lot from these newer teams is how much, different ways that you can play the game and be successful. A game like Onward is so complex that there isn't necessarily one most powerful way to play the game or strategy for any given objective. If you do the time, you work on it together and hone it, you can make it work. And that's what we kind of saw here. 2 different strategies duking up against each other. 404 coming out on top this time, but Mike-Juliet, I think, will be back with a vengeance for a grudge rematch against... Go ahead.
Sorry, if Mike-Juliet can keep that wild card aggression up their sleeve, it is a great thing to have. It just needs to be something they just don't use every single round. That's the only thing.
It can become predictable, that's for sure. Did you have a thought on that, Etch?
Yeah, I think they need that surprise factor for it to work effectively, and they need their base defenses and base defenses that they can use. I mean, kind of the switch up that they did in Middle House worked because of the surprise factor. And I agree 100% with everything you guys said. I think that these are 2 teams to watch out for. They are gonna be climbing the rankings, and they're both itching to get up there. They're playing a lot. They're playing challenges, so. In the coming weeks, we should keep an eye on these guys and see where they end up with a few more matches under their belt.
Definitely. Before we sign off here, sorry, Mono, I'll just jump in here really quickly. If you do get out of here and you want to go check something else out, we have Emberverse Raptors on Onward VRML 1. They're on their last map, and it could be the last round, so you might want to catch that.
Could be really awesome. Those are 2 wonderful teams facing off against each other. Super awesome to see more games happening all at once. We got a lot going on in the VRML. We actually have some games tomorrow as well from Joker, although his situation is a little dicey. But hopefully we do see that cast tomorrow. And we'll see more casts coming next week and all the following weeks. We're just on week 1. So do stay tuned there. Anyways, this has been Mike-Juliet versus Arrow 404, brought to you by myself, Monorchid, Etch, and James Boak. We'd like to thank the VR Master League for providing this format for the teams, our moderators, our sponsors, to you guys, the viewers, new and old. Thanks for tuning in and spending your time with us. It's been great to be back in the regular season, and we're going to see some really awesome games coming up. So stay tuned in the future. Have a good one.